Welcome to the Real Pros of DC. Each week we interview some of the DC metro area's top professionals and discuss topics related to this unique real estate market. I'm your host, William McCoy, and this is the Real Pros of DC. Welcome to the Real Pros of DC, where each week we interview some of the DC metro area's top professionals. I'm William McCoy, your host, and I have my co-hosts, Paul, Amanda, Alicia, and we have today here Tiffany Parker from Parker Staging. Tell us a little bit about how you got into the staging and a little bit about your company.
My background's actually political science, public policy, international affairs. I started my career in the Foreign Service doing public diplomacy. I got a little bit weary of the traveling, and I decided to dig deeper to figure out what my true passion was, and it's always been sort of architecture and design. And so I proceeded to, I thought, okay, well, then maybe I can be a real estate agent. So I went to the bookstore to get the books to start studying for the real estate exam, and I came across Barbara Schwartz's book on staging. Barbara Schwartz is actually the founder of home staging. Wow. And so I grabbed the book and I said, okay, well, I'll read this. And I just set up the business immediately right after reading the book, and I happened to be on the board of an organization with a real estate agent, and he gave me my first job. And from there we go.
Awesome. That's an amazing story.
It's kind of convoluted, but yes.
No, yeah, I mean, it's really interesting to go from like something totally different to a whole new industry.
Yeah.
How long have you been in the industry now?
I started in 2009, so we're going on our 10th year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So right now we're in the middle of holiday season. So what would be your recommendations for staging during the holiday season? Do's and don'ts? What's too much?
Right.
Like my hat. Is that too much?
No, not really. Well, everyone's approach is a little bit different. There are some fundamental rules that apply year-round, sort of. So, not anything that's overly religiously expressive, right? So. You just be really careful because you don't want to be offensive to people. But holiday cheer is a great thing because the principle of staging is to bring good feeling. And holidays do that. You do that through color, you can do that through smell. So as long as you stick to the higher level principles about the holidays and not the sort of religious aspects of it, you're going to be in good shape. So use the opportunity to get your ginger smells, your Christmas tree smells, your baked cookie smells, your vanilla smells. Okay. That's a huge incentive and a way to activate good emotion in people, because that's what you want. When people walk in a home, the first thing they do is decide, do they feel good or do they feel bad? And the better you can make them feel, the higher the probability of a sale. Awesome. Okay, so that's one way to do it. And then the use of color. So like you guys are dressed very festive with the reds and the greens and golds, metallics.
Okay.
As much as you can integrate those things, I think that you're going to be in good shape.
And I understand that you do classes. Can you tell us a little bit more like who they're for, where they are, and what it entails?
We've just started to offer staging classes, and really this is our contribution to the world, I feel. We've been doing this for 10 years, and we have a lot of lessons learned, and we really view the classes as our way of sharing those lessons learned. And it's appealing to a broad swath of people. We offer them at various degrees of difficulty. So we have Home Staging 101, which is really just your introduction to what staging is versus interior design, some of the basic principles, some basic design principles, some basic staging principles, introduction to what some of the tools and some of the tricks that we use. 102 is a little bit more sophisticated, our Home Staging 102. It's more technical, how to hang art, how to make a bed, what some of the layouts that you could do when you're facing challenging small spaces, dark spaces. And then we also have our how to start a home staging business. So if you're interested in starting a staging business, we focus that course a lot on the business aspects of it, how to get a business, how to run a business, how to manage inventory, how to invoice clients, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And that course is 2 weeks long, and you really get an opportunity there to shadow myself and some of our other managers.
What are the costs of these classes?
So the Home Staging 101 and the Home Staging 102 are just $150. The Home Staging, very affordable, right? The Home Staging Business course is $2,000, but it really comes with a lot of tools, and basically when you leave that course, you are able to start your own business.
And again, Tiffany, anybody can take these courses.
Anyone.
Right? It's open to the public.
Anyone.
Okay.
You can actually just go to our website and go to our staging training tab, and there's a list there of the courses that we offer.
For 101, is it just like an hour long, or is it?
We do them, no, they're actually 3 hours, and they come with breakfast.
Okay.
Yes. So we do them from 9 to 12 on Fridays and or Saturdays, and we're going to start doing them at least once a quarter.
What's for breakfast?
Breakfast is like pastries, just
Perfect.
pastries,
And then where
fruits.
do you take the classes?
The classes are held in our warehouse. The other thing about the 101 course is it's very hands-on. So we really enjoy it, and the people who've taken it so far, they absolutely enjoy it because you get a chance to play around with furniture. Our warehouse is open, and we have $3 million worth of inventory. So if you love to play with art and decor and accent pillows, it's perfect because we give you challenges, and it's very interactive.
A great date
Do
night.
you have to do it?
It's fun. Oh, that's a good idea. I like it. Yeah.
Do you have to do them in order?
You do have to take 101 in order to take 102, just because 102 is a little bit more advanced. You don't have to take either to take the staging business course, because it's a completely different.
And then how long ago did you start doing the classes?
This is our first year doing the classes, so we've just started them in the summer of
Wonderful.
this year, but we're doing them all year, and they've been very successful so far. So
Absolutely.
people have enjoyed them.
So if people love the staging that you do, let's say you stage a seller's house and they just love it, or a buyer comes through and there's a piece that they just love for that house, or even someone coming to your staging class and they just fall in love with a particular piece.
Yes.
Is there an opportunity to buy
Yes.
those pieces? Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes. Absolutely. We do that almost daily. People literally go shopping inside of our staging. So it's a little bit more challenging for us because we have a package approach because we're a high volume staging business. We stage about 400 houses a year. So our stagings are what we call packages. You know, the art matches the pillows, matches the decor, and we like to try to keep it together. So when people purchase, they do pay a slightly higher price just because of the work that's involved.
Because you're going to have to replace
We
that.
have to
You're going to
replace
find
it.
the exact right piece
That's correct.
again.
And sometimes the package is just no longer usable.
That is hard.
Do you have multiple warehouses, or is there just
We
one
have two
specific
warehouses. We have a very large warehouse in Capitol Heights, and we have another warehouse in Gaithersburg.
What's your favorite store?
Oh, good question. Well, we use a lot of wholesale vendors. Right now, I buy a lot from Wayfair. I love Wayfair, and they have
Wayfair.
they have everything.
That's good
I
to know.
love Wayfair.
Wayfair, and they
I
have
have
really
the
good designer discount.
Okay.
You have to listen to their story one day too of how they got started.
Oh yeah,
It's really cool.
Really?
But yeah, Wayfair. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. But Pier 1, Home Goods, that sort of thing is just really invaluable for staging because you can get things off the shelf. And in staging, you have to be able to do things quickly. So it's not like interior design where we can order a custom piece and wait 3 months for it to arrive. We sort of have to have it quickly.
Of course.
So, yeah.
Sure. What's like the turnaround time, or what's like the average of someone calls you, and then how quickly do you need to have it staged generally?
It depends on the time of year. During our peak season, which starts around early March or late February, it can be very busy, and you probably need 2 weeks. But again, we are a high volume staging business. We have a capacity to stage about 150 houses at one time. So sometimes we can take people right away. And for our treasured clients, we work really hard to try to do that because we know that's one of the reasons why people come to us is that we can respond really quickly.
So tell us about like a challenging time that you've had in this, a challenging story or whatever it may be that you've had in staging.
Well, every day in staging is challenging.
Right, I can imagine.
Okay, so it's really hard to pick one story. It'd have to be like one story of that day, especially when you have, you know, sometimes 4 or 5 stagings going on at a time and de-stagings. Every one has unique problems. But what I would say a consistent theme in terms of being able to recognize when it's going to be a challenge is when a client has a very specific vision of what they want and they don't quite accept the fact that it's not about their specific taste, that this is really about appealing to a buyer.
I can imagine that being a thing.
It's a constant conflict.
Yeah. Home is so emotional, right?
Yes,
It's such an emotional thing.
Especially if you're a builder or if you've done work to it, and as you're going through that process, sometimes you start to develop a vision for what you want it to look like personally, and sometimes it's really hard, and because staging is so fast-paced, it's not like interior design where you literally have session after session where you sit down and you explain vision and you articulate and you do drawings and you do layout. Staging generally is not like that.
Right. Just like that,
So we have to be mind readers. We have to try to read the mind of the person who has a very specific vision, and
we're used to that, right?
Right. We're definitely used to that.
Right, exactly. And we're more or less successful at doing that.
Okay.
So it always poses a challenge whenever you have to do that.
What's the typical amount of time that you leave the furniture in a home for staging?
Our standard is 45 days. So from the time that we complete the staging to the time we pick it up. On average, almost everyone sells within that 45 days. If you do need an extension, we allow those in 30-day increments, but most everyone sells within 45.
Do you do partial staging, or is it always just the full home?
So one of the differences in our business versus others is that we have a robust suite of services. Because we've been doing this so long, we've really customized so many different services according to what our clients need. So we have everything from our premium staging, which is our high-end estate stagings for your higher end homes, more expensive properties, to just really light stagings. And in fact, right now we're working on a DIY staging where homeowners or agents can just get the furniture, art and decor from us. We've already packed it and tagged it, and it's cohesive, and you install it yourself.
That's very
It's
cool.
a really affordable option.
Yeah.
We've done all the work for you, and you just
Put it up.
set it
Is
up.
it like IKEA-ish where you're putting it together? Or it
No.
just comes- you're just kind of
It's
unwrapping
our
it?
staging furniture. It's already
Very cool.
assembled. It's already together. You're basically just hanging the art, setting the pillows, putting the decor down.
Do you deliver it then, or do
Yes,
they have to come together? Oh, you
delivery's-
still
delivery's
deliver it.
included.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And so we found that option as a way to, a lot of agents pay for stagings, so to provide an affordable option.
If the house is a luxury home, is the furniture of a higher quality?
Yes. So we have different gradations. Obviously, again, staging is so fast moving, and like one piece of our furniture can be in 100 homes in 365 days. So they move, the furniture moves a lot, and so it varies in quality, it varies in age, it varies in wear and tear. So, but those things are reflected in price. So the higher price you pay, the higher the quality of furniture, the newer it tends to be, and those sorts of things.
So it's not based on the price of the home. It's based on what
the
package
client,
you choose.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And we always try to recommend the package according to the price of the home, but that's, you can't always,
Yeah.
Can't
always
make
do
people-
that.
Touchy sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it's more difficult.
Well, tell our audience how to get in contact with you guys. You've given us a lot of good information. Yes. Yeah, tell us how to get in contact.
Absolutely. The best way to reach us is to go to our website, which is www.parkerinteriorsdc.com, and you can find a portfolio of our work there. You can find an explanation of all of our services, including one thing I forgot to mention, which is our backstage, which is our furniture sale warehouse, where we sell our furniture that we no longer use in staging.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
Really affordable prices. So you can find out about that. You can our staging services, our staging classes, and the DIY staging at parkerinteriorsdc.com.
Well, thank you, Tiffany, for coming on the show today. We really appreciate it. This has been excellent. A lot of good information on staging. Our audience knows how to get in contact with you. Thanks for having us. See you next week. Thanks for joining us on this episode of The Real Pros of DC. Have a real estate topic you would like us to discuss? Go to www.therealprosofdc.com and submit your idea and see footage of the show. See you next time.